Okay, so today we're doing a duct cleaning. In this case, the furnace was removed. So it's a downflow furnace with a plenum underneath the house and one riser to upstairs. Now the return we're actually going to clean by hand and seal because it's very short. Only about 2 feet of duct between that and the grill inside the house. It's simple, but what we've done here is just literally taken a piece of cardboard and made an adapter to fit the plenum. So down inside of there is just a steel box with distribution ducting going to the whole house. So a large duct, you can see it laying on the floor there. It's going to go from the top of this machine over that. And all this is a very powerful blower with a lot of filters in it. So the primary filter here captures the bulk of the dust, and the secondary. Now in this case we're not using the HEPA filter because it does reduce its ability to move air somewhat, and the exhaust dust is just going to go outside. So those filters are going to catch probably about 95% or more of what's going through the system or being sucked out of the ducting. So a little bit of dust will come out of that, but we're going to be able to wheel this right to the edge of the garage. If we're using this machine inside the house, we do have to put the HEPA filter back in there. And the HEPA filter makes it so what's going back inside of the house doesn't have any dust in it. But that is a 25-foot piece of duct. You can see it's compressed. It stretches quite a bit, and we have another piece just like it inside of our little duct cleaning trailer there. So as long as we can get within 50 feet of the machine, or get the machine within 50 feet of where the furnace was, we don't need that HEPA filter, which really improves the performance of the machine. Now, like I said, in this case, here's your furnace. It was removed. There's the new one, which will be going in when we're done. There are situations just like this where the furnace doesn't need to be replaced, or the customer doesn't want to replace it, but it still needs to be removed to do an adequate duct cleaning. We have to be able to access this central point where all the ducts come together to do a good job with duct cleaning. So I'll show you what we do on the inside as soon as we have this set up and running. Kind of loud. So that's the duct connected, everything running. You can hear the compressor in the background. So that's pulling a real deep negative pressure on the entire system. Just an enormous vacuum. So next we'll go inside. Okay, so here we are at the first register. So what we do, there's the duct. Down inside of that, it's just a foam plug. So what I've just done is release the vacuum here. So this is the only point that vacuum is pulling from. So everything it's capable of is going through this one duct. So we combine that suction with this tool here. Now all this is a high pressure air hose. Has a valve on the end of it, and we have a bunch of these rods that we run through the ducting, and this little head is flexible pipes with little ports in them. The air comes out at real high velocity and just whips all over the place inside the ducting, breaking loose any debris. Now we'll use this method. We also have a large brush that will spin and blow pressurized air as it runs. In the real dirty systems with a lot of fine stuff, that's really good. But we find that this is most effective most of the time. Okay, so this part is very difficult to see when actually being used because it goes into the duct. But this is the last step for the duct cleaning. So we're just starting to clean things up there. Travis is pulling out the duct. We're done with the machine. All the ducts have been run. And this little guy is the last step. So inside there is a weak solution of disinfectant and deodorizer. It does have a scent, but it's real mild, and it's always up to the customer whether or not we use that. But while the duct vacuum is running, so it's pulling air through the registers, we turn this guy on, and it just produces a fog. So all that does is fog a light chemical in there. We do it for about 25 seconds. So anything that we can't get out of the duct or any residual smells, this helps with. And then also just gives a fresh smell to the house once we're done. And then once we're done spraying that in, this guy runs for an additional 20 to 30 minutes just to dry out the ducting and keep that smell from being too small. We want that to be a real minor thing in the background for a very short period, although it does go away quickly. So that's it for the duct cleaning. Now we're going to finish putting the furnace back in.